Hello everybody, it's Lisa Stansbury from Stansbury Glass Studio, and today we're going to, let me get you a little straighter, we're going to, I promised myself I wasn't going to mess with this camera. Today we're going to continue on with the tulip piece, and I'm going to show you how to apply grout. My least favorite subject in all of mosaic, in all of stained glass, is grouting. So I'm not an expert in this. I struggle with it. I've made mistakes, and I'm going to show you one of my mistakes so you, understand that this is a hit and miss. And the more you learn about how to apply grout colors to your individual pieces, the happier you're going to be. So let's talk about what I have on the workbench. So let me bring it down. Okay, this is the tulip piece. Remember, we did it in tempered glass, and that's the basics of this. I wanted just to step you out and see the tempered glass in a finished product. So on my workbench today I have a spoon, I have a dry cloth, I have a bucket of, this is dark charcoal gray sanded grout. So you can buy grout in sanded or unsanded. The unsanded is least preferred because it does not, when it dries, there's nothing in it to really hold and to help it flex to the dryness that it becomes. So it'll have more of a tendency to crack. So if you get the sanded, they call it flexible for swimming pool, I don't know. If you get the sanded, you have more body to work with and less chances of it cracking. So for more information, please, go out to YouTube, because there's definitely a lot of people out there more knowledgeable in the science of grouting than I. So I try to stick with the grout. I do have a bag of unsanded here. I don't know why I have it. It was probably the only thing I could find, and I only use it in the event that I have nothing else to work with. So, and I also have a bottle of water. Now, this bottle of water has a really cool little nozzle on it, as you know. So you can totally be in control of how much water you're going to put into this bucket, and I'll show you that in just a second. So first, so that's really all I have as far as, I wanted to show you too, if you can only get the white sanded, there is a myriad of colorants that you can get out on the internet. Like, I bought this kit, it has like, I think there's probably 6 or 8 different colors, which kind of like, you may want to do different colors for different areas of your each individual piece. So you could have a piece that has 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors on it, depending on how you want the end result to look. So in determining coloring, what color grout should I use? You see that all the time on the internet. I don't know what grout. There's like, if there's ever a doubt on what color grout, I always go with either gray, dark gray, or black. I have, but I'll show you where there's some mistakes with that. Or for tempered glass too, you could also just skip the grout and just go with resin, or skip that even as well. So let me clear this off. So what I'm going to show you is one of my very first pieces that I ever did. I made the mistake. First off, I love this piece. I really do. I think it's one of my first mixed media that I've done. Okay, so it's all stained glass. I have some Arizona red rock down here on the bottom. And then I had stained glass with wires to depict the saguaro. And you can see it's kind of raised. So it's like it's got some serious texture going on there, right? Cool, very cool. For the flowers, I used a Dremel with a scallop shell. totally cut differently than I expected, but so I just went with it, and I really, really love that effect. But not knowing what I was doing, right? I think the sky, I just totally blew this piece. This piece has never seen the light of day because of the sky. And had I thought about it, I would have maybe used, I could have used a blue, I could have used a light gray, I could have used anything but black, because I really absolutely hate it. I hate the cut that I used. I hate everything about that sky. This is a local mountain peak we have near us. It's called Picacho Peak. And it's really unfortunate that this piece did not turn out. I may try to take this whole saguaro off somehow and try to save it and just do a whole nother piece with a little more thoughtfulness in the sky. So what you can do is, if you're in doubt, you can take dry grout and sprinkle it on your piece in whatever color you're envisioning, and see if you like it or not. That's about the easiest way to avoid a problem like this, which is just, stuck in the back guest bedroom, and literally nobody has ever seen this, but now you have seen it. But, it's not always about success stories. I've been doing this for a minute and I still struggle with grout color. So just as this piece here really taught me to stop, and especially consider a different color for skies. Anyways, so it's not tempered glass, but it is a failure, and I wanted to show you what a failure looks and feels like. This piece here is tempered glass, and after I did the desert sky one, I really like totally said, no, I'm not putting any grout on this. So I did this, and as you can see, the sky is totally not grouted. But the other thing is too, it's not glass on glass. This is on a MDF board I painted the sky in with acrylics, let it dry, and then I put the tempered glass over it. Isn't that great? What a great other application that you can use your tempered glass on. Very cool. Did not have the heart to grout this. I didn't have the heart to resin it. I just left it because I was happy with it. So sometimes you got to listen to your heart and go with it. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to then get set up and we can get started on this piece. Okay, so stand by. Okay, so let's go ahead and, now the thing about mixing water into your grout, it is super imperative that you be in control of the amount of water. So you just kind of want to add a little bit at a time and stir it up. I probably made way too much, but I do have a stack of other projects that need to be grouted. And I need to kind of like step it up here because I got to get this stuff to the gallery for, we got Father's Day weekend. Happy Father's Day, everybody, by the way. We also have in this little community that I have a gallery in, they have a big gay pride events coming up this weekend. So this little tulip piece has a chance to find a new home, right? It's kind of Victorian. It has a Victorian feel to it. So I think it could live in just about any place. So I'm just mixing this up. My aim is to get to be a really thick peanut butter consistency here. And now it's starting to like show, we're almost there. And mix everything at that bottom. We don't want any, I see dry stuff coming up, so we don't want any dry stuff. We also don't want water pooling at the bottom. That means you've got too much water. If you have that happen, you can either let it sit for a few minutes, or you can add more grout, like a teaspoon at a time, and see if you can soak it up. Okay, it's kind of hard to see, isn't it? It's definitely a thick peanut butter. It's not falling off the spoon. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, some people use credit cards and things. I'm going to try this just with my hands. I'm going to start at one end, and I'm just going to push it in with my hands and kind of want to push it around the border. Scrunch it down into all those crevices that you may or may not be able to see. And then pull that grout down your piece. Now, some of this is a little uneven, so you kind of want to make sure. You pull all that excess down. The idea is not to see how much of a mess you can make here, right? Because it's really not fun. It's part of the reason why I hate grouting. It's because of the mess. The other thing with the sanded and unsanded is for the unsanded, really should be used on really small pieces that are going to be like, they do the mosaics and jewelry. Very tight spaces in between your tessera. Anything above an 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch really needs to have the sanded. I'm trying to hurry here so we don't have to. Kind of want to, maintain around that frame too. You don't want to get it all into that. It's probably cutting through my gloves, but that's okay. It's part of life. It's a mosaic. Just like cuts are part of, I forget the spoon. We're just going in. We're forgetting the spoon now. Spoons are for mixing. Wow, that was just about the right amount. It's kind of hard to determine how much grout you need. You really kind of just practice and eyeball and get close enough. You want to try not to have not enough to get you through at least one project, because you want the consistency to be all the same. Okay, looks like that is it. Okay. Now we're going to let this sit for like 5 minutes, and then I'm going to start getting this excess off. Okay. Okay, it's had about 5 minutes to sit, and it's starting to set up. So I'm going to just kind of scrape away. Now this is where you could probably use a credit card pretty easy. I don't have one, but you just want to kind of get the excess off of here. You also kind of want to keep in mind, you want to have a little bit extra grout on hand, so if you do pull too much off, you can patch it. And you don't want to wait till it's like, you wouldn't want to walk away and go grocery shopping at this point, right? You're pretty much stuck. If for instance you did have to step away. You could always just get a damp cloth and just, this is where the mess comes in. Just let it sit, lay it on top, let it sit. Now I'm going to take this dry cloth and try to keep like a clean side to it. And I'm just going to start wiping. Now I don't have any support underneath this substrate, so you don't want to press too hard. Feels like I just tore something out of there. All right. So then when you get it like really dirty, you want to just flip it. Because then at that point you're just smearing the black. And if you had any of that shipping tape left on your tempered glass, this will tear it off for sure. This is where it's super important too that you don't have such a wet grout, using, especially if you use a wet sponge to do what I'm doing here. This really helps control the mess. I'm starting to see some color from the tulips. I'm seeing some clear tempered in the background. And you just kind of keep working at it until you get the majority of the excess off. Okay? And I'm going to keep working at this. So I've gone over this a couple times with the cloth now. I've gone over it one time with the stick, and now it's been about 30-45 minutes since we started, and I'm going to go over it with this little scraper thingy. I'm not really sure what they call these. I know that I got it from Corey Dollar, marvelousmosaics.com, and she can hook you up with one of these. These are really, really handy to have. They basically, you just go over the top and you scrape off any excess grout, any glues that have seeped up. And for tempered glass, it's actually, it works really well for any that shipping tape that's left behind. And you can literally just kind of keep going over your piece until you're totally happy with, you know, because there's going to be little pieces of grout and glue in little nicks and crannies that you can go on forever trying to clean this piece. So I'm going to continue on, but I wanted to show you. I wanted to finish this up for you. I'm just going to continue on, basically scraping any excess. Every time you scrape something off, it just lets a little more light into your piece. And so it's, you know, you've spent a lot of time on the design and placing the glass, so you want to really emphasize that. You don't want the grout to take over your piece and take away your light. So once I'm all done with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it with a nice, might be a polish, but I'm also going to do a sealant on it. Even though this piece is going to be indoors, you kind of want to seal that grout so it kind of just helps it adhere and stay where you want it to stay. If it's an outdoor piece, it's a whole different ball game. I've never done an outdoor piece, so I'd have to do another video and do some more research for you on that. So we're going to call this done for now. Going to be the finished product of my tulips. The thing with the tulips, if you look really close, you'll see each one of the red is a different type of red stained glass. So it's a little funky. It's cute. I'm going to continue cleaning it and I'm going to seal it, and then I'm taking it to the gallery. So it'll be there for the weekend. So please like and subscribe my channel. You can also now find me on Rumble, and same name. And y'all take care and take care of each other. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.